Hello, everyone. My name is Bishop Robert Williams, but I'm not coming to you today as Bishop Robert Williams. I'm coming to you just plain Robert Williams. I just watched a video on YouTube. It talks about a Marine sergeant that was wounded in combat. He lost his leg at an IED explosion, and his vehicle blew up. 2 of his soldiers died, and the other ones were hurt. Instead of, trying to crawl away, he walked and he saved 2 other men. And then he came back and, I guess they cut his leg off and they discharged him. And he was invited to a dinner or luncheon at a big ball, and the security guard turned him away even though he had an invitation. As he was going, the president, Donald Trump, showed up, and he knew who this soldier was. And he brought the soldier in to the meeting, talked about him, shook his hand, and had a private meeting with him. And that really touched my heart. Donald Trump is a good man. He really is. I hoped one day I can meet him one day. But I want to tell you my military story. I don't talk about it too much, but I think that I need to. I went in, when I was 17, I went into the Texas National Guard. I was there almost a year. They put me to basic training. And after I got out of basic training, I went back to the Texas National Guard. And then I wanted to go stay with my mother for a couple of months. So I went TDY to the New Mexico National Guard in Silver City, New Mexico. I was there a couple of months. And then I came back to Texas and resumed the training there. And then I liked the military life, so I went down to the Army Recruiter's office and I signed a 4-year contract with the Army. My first duty station was Fort Riley, Kansas, where I stayed there for 2 years. I made it all the way up to E4, a Spec 4. And then I got transferred to Mannheim, Germany. I was supposed to have been there for 2 years, but I was there for 6 months because I was married at the time, and my wife went into labor. She had the baby 3 months early. So the Army sent me all the way to Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, where they had a special hospital for undeveloped children. I was on leave for a month, and then I joined. They assigned me to Fort Sam Houston. I worked at Headquarters Garrison, and eventually they put me in charge of the NBC room, which stands for Nuclear, Biological, Chemical Warfare. Well, one day, while the unit was doing PT every morning, and we were on a run, and I fell into a hole all the way up to my right knee. I was hurt. I couldn't hardly walk. But I walked back, and then I went on sick call, and they did x-rays and things, and they said, we need to operate on your leg. So I said, okay. And they removed some cartilage and things, whatever else they did, I don't know. But I did recover from that for a little while. And after I got out of the Army, which I wanted to stay in the Army, but I couldn't do it. So, to make a long story short, I have had 4 other knee operations. And I hurt my ankle when I fell in that hole. Because every once in a while when I walk, my foot would turn to the left, and I was walking on the side of my ankle. And I didn't like that. And nothing has been done about that. But, long story short, I started getting infections in my right foot because I got Charcot. That's where the arch of the foot collapses and bones go everywhere. I've got that in my left foot too. But the one in the right foot, it started getting infected close to 5 years ago. And I've been into 2 or 3 rehab centers, places to stay off my foot. And it was bad. I almost lost my foot at that time. But I didn't want that. So I did recover from that for a little while. And then my right foot really got infected again. Because they end up putting 6 screws, metal rod, and a metal plate in my right foot because they had to take some of those bones out. That lasted for a little while. And then my foot, they started, trimming up some calluses at the bottom of my foot. Because there's a bone that was sticking out there like a little bit, but they had to peel off the cartilage. Well, they did that one time. That was done here at the VA Medical Center here in Kansas City. And my foot got really infected. And it got so bad that, because on those metal rods or screws, infection got onto those. And they couldn't do anything about it. I spent 2 months with IV antibiotic therapy. And told to stay off my foot, which I was in another rehab nursing home. But they did let me go home. When I was on the antibiotics, I was not hurting. But when I went home and off the antibiotics, infection really got to me. Started getting dizzy, lightheaded all the time. I couldn't hardly walk. So I went back to the VA. And they told me something I didn't want to hear. They said, you can keep your leg and you will die soon. Or we can cut your leg off and you can live. I thought about it, prayed about it. I believe it was God's will. And I let them cut my leg off below the knee. And I had to learn a whole new life. I just couldn't get up and walk. I was in a wheelchair. I still got that wheelchair. But the VA did give me an artificial leg after 3 months like that. And I'm learning how to walk. It's not easy. I do want to walk again, but I can walk with a walker. But I'm in a wheelchair a lot. And during this time, I used to live with my son for almost 10 years. But since I got my leg cut off, he said, "Dad, you can't come home until you learn to walk." Well, I'm doing better with a walker. He saw me do it. But then another problem started up. Long story short, I have now, I'm on kidney dialysis treatment. My kidneys have mostly failed or died off. So I've had 4 kidney dialysis shunts put in. And I'm in the VA hospital now because my other port that was on my left side, it started getting infected. A couple of days ago, well, about 3 days ago, they put me in the hospital here at the VA. And yesterday, they took the other one out and put a new one in on the right side. This is make 4 of these things I've had. And people who do not know anything about kidney dialysis, you have to go 3 times a week. You sit in a chair for 4 hours. Why? They pump your blood out and they take the water and other stuff out of your blood and they put the clean blood back in your system. I hate that. I've been on that for 5 months. You know, they told me to sign up for the kidney transplant list. I've not done that. Why? Because the new kidneys would come from somebody that died. I think that's a little morbid. That's just my opinion. And so I don't think I'm going to get a kidney transplant. I'll just stay on this dialysis. But God's got a call on my life. I've always known it. And I believe God will heal me one day. And He's going to put me in the healing and miracle ministry, just like I've been shown in dreams all my life. But you know, I had to go through a lot. But this call of God has cost me everything. Marriages, children. I'm not working anymore. I'm only on disability and a small pension from the VA, only 20%. It's like $312 a month. But my disability and Social Security disability is like $1,100 a month. Since I'm in this nursing home that the VA sent me to, now they're taking all my check except $40. They think I can live on $40. My cell phone bill here is $90 a month. So I have to pay that through my VA disability and my other bills. And it's hard to live on $312 a month. You know, about, I guess, a month or 2 ago, I sat down and wrote President Trump a letter asking me for his help to get my VA disability increased, because I lost my leg. And they cut it off here at the VA Medical Center here in Kansas City. And I haven't heard anything back from them. I hope I will. You know, I'm thinking about sending that letter to Vice President J.D. Vance and to some of the Missouri state senators and see if they can help. But I haven't done that yet. I'm still waiting on President Trump's office for a response. But I don't know if that letter will ever get to President Trump. But, you know, they got protocols. I understand that. But who knows? You know, God can do a miracle. But I just ask you to keep me up in prayer. Keep my ministry up in prayer. You know, people who follow me here, you know I'm an ordained bishop. I have 2 websites at propheticinformationministries.com, godsmiracleministry.com. I dream every night, always have, all my life. I'm 63 years old. I'm single, divorced, and I don't like the single life, but I haven't been able to find anyone. God's not really brought anybody to me. But that's okay. You kind of get used to being lonely. But I do have Jesus. God the Father, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. And I haven't lost my faith. I've been tested. I was told I'd be tested by Jack Cole Jr. right before he died. He gave me an anointing. I've talked about it before. And you can check that out on my website or on my website or on my YouTube channel. I've got like 613 videos up here on YouTube. I have a Facebook page of Bishop Robert Williams, and you can see more information there. But I just felt that I needed to give you my testimony about the military service because of the other video I just watched. So I just ask you to keep me up in prayer. And if any other veterans out there are having a hard time, I know there's a lot of veterans. If you need help, you know, sit down and write President Trump a letter. Or go see the DAV office, which I still got to do now. I saw them right after they cut my leg off. The paperwork was started, but nothing has ever happened. Yeah, I was told that I need to get other forms filled out. Well, I don't know where to get those forms. So nothing's been done. So I hope that President Trump will come through for me. I would love to meet him one day. But this is just my testimony. And if you're a disabled veteran, don't give up. Don't give up on life. I know there's a lot of veterans that do commit suicide. But don't do that. You do that, and you're not going to go to heaven. You will go to hell. You know, I've thought about suicide in the past, but I won't do that. Everybody thinks about that, and a lot of people do that. I don't want to see anybody die. If you are a disabled veteran or a person who needs to talk, you can call me up. This is my cell phone. I'll talk to you. I'll pray for you. But this is my testimony. My name is Robert Williams. And I think I'll end this video now, and I'll post it up on YouTube and Facebook. God bless you, and keep me in your prayers. All right, bye-bye.